So, very exciting game. Mikhalevski played a brilliant tactical game the other day. And are you happy here, Nigel, if I move out?
Yeah, why don't you sit on the end?
Yeah. Let me know if you have any trouble with the computer.
Yeah. So, have you got all the moves? Or a lot of them? Anyway.
We got most of them. Can I just check it? The camera's set up right? That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that should be okay.
So I don't know whether that constitutes a surprise when I play e4.
Not the expected boss.
I lost a drink on that move, Nigel.
You lost a drink on that move, yeah. Well,
there might be another one, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's a long time since the Four Knights was considered a drawing opening. At least people, I mean, they play for an advantage. Shirov, for example, has played it many times. Michael Adams, as you see, playing it here. So yeah, bishop b5 and knight d4. I played this slightly, I mean, it's an old line. There have been a lot of games with bishop c4 recently. Some very sharp tactical games, some very interesting things. But that was not for today. Yeah, and now he surprised me a little bit with knight f3 checker. It's I mean, this is a perfectly let's say decent move, but it's not the sort of in fact, I've only faced this move once before, and it was against Mikhalevski, and this was a game where I produced my only composition, which was self-mate in 2, with a unique solution.
Was this the ending, Nigel?
It was the ending.
Okay.
Self-mate in 2, absolutely unique solution, which I managed to find. And I played some king e6, and he went bishop c8 mate, and it was a bit of a surprise to me. Yeah. So,
but of course I definitely didn't expect this.
Yeah, you weren't expecting me to
I would expected this opening at all. And usually I play bishop c5 instead of knight x3.
Yeah, of course.
So
I mean, I saw.
I decided to avoid preparation.
I saw all your games, so no.
Yeah, I'm sure about it.
So anyway, yeah, and. I must say, I've never really studied this one. I always had the impression that white ought to be slightly better because I have better development, but it's not quite so simple. I was thinking about G4 here actually. I mean, just,
it would come as a surprise for me, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. After castling, I'm not going to play G4. That's not just yet, anyway. So, okay, H3 to stop bishop G4.
I also consider it knight d7 moves.
Knight d7, yeah.
So after H3, Nigel, we have a question for you.
Yeah.
What do you think of G5?
Yeah, I was thinking about it. So don't.
Yeah. One point on that.
Yeah. I was definitely thinking about it, but
G5 here.
yeah, and the next move as well. So it's risky.
Yeah.
I mean those. I mean, very often when you play H3, you have to be careful of moves like G5. But I don't think this is a position which it sort of refutes white's opening. So yeah, I mean you do have to be careful if you make a target like that. So that much.
I have to admit that I took some time on G5. Yeah, but I decided it's too much without development.
Yeah, that's it. Basically, yeah, without development.
You've already got one contender for best game prize as well. So.
Yeah, bishop here, d4. That's exciting. Who put that in?
No.
I think that might be a mouse slip.
All right. Okay. Let's put new main line. Okay. So castles. Yeah, actually, I was trying to play d4 in one move. This is why I didn't play d3. Yeah, if you would play knight d7, by the way, I would play b4. This was my idea, actually.
You mean at this point? After?
No, well, now I'll play c3. But
now c3, yes.
Yeah,
sure.
but before I would play b4. And I don't know. I mean, the knight is a bit strange on d7. You know,
b4, maybe I can play a5.
b5.
Knight c5.
No.
Or you just take on
I just take and I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I mean, you're sort of very behind in development when you start playing like that. But
I didn't play knight d7 for a different reason.
Okay, so here, yeah, knight e2 castles, c3. So, you know, as very often in the four knights game, it starts to resemble the Spanish. At least to a degree. Now you surprised me with h6. I was very surprised by this move because I thought you were giving me a target. But the funny thing was the continuation. I was very optimistic actually when you did what you did. But you know, maybe I was too optimistic. You know, maybe it wasn't very.
I didn't see many alternatives. In fact, now knight d7 doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense
no.
at all. The annoying things that come up are those the people who are online.
They can be. That's going to do you a lot of favours.
They were just saying what a good chap you were.
You missed a little. Okay, should be alright now.
Yeah.
Okay. Sporting, joking,
Yeah. So yeah, it's clear. If I take here, yeah, knight takes e4, black is in very good shape. You know,
Yes,
excellent position, really. So that is obviously not critical. I have to take here, and now queen g3, and because of the threat on h6, bishop d6.
In fact, queen takes d5 was also an
Well.
option, I think, but
Well,
of course I wanted to recapture with the pawns.
yeah, I mean this is what I, well, maybe, yeah, but I still think you're a bit loose if you do that. Yeah, taking with the pawn is much more logical. And now, yeah, I went f3. So I'm trying to open up the position, and a lot of my play are actually. How do I highlight these squares? I click on, you know, on these things. You're always annotating these games. How do I make the red square here? You know, or a green square here? D5. D5 is a key point. You know, that's the thing. Yeah. D5. I'm attacking this point, you know, because this actually the position believe it or not, it has something in common with the King's Gambit. Actually, some lines of the King's Gambit. I've had
We were hoping
similar
for a King's
position.
Gambit.
We're hoping
I
for
was hoping for a King's Gambit.
yeah, another day. Yeah. I have to have about 0 out of 7 to play the King's Gambit. You know, so, I did play the King's Gambit twice last year, but
That's in your youth.
no, I didn't play it in my youth. I've only played it. Well, I've only played the King's Gambit in my dotage. So, now there's a question. Yeah, I expected Bishop B7. I thought this was right, and it just sets up all these sort of tricks against the Queen, and I don't know. Maybe I could even leave it there for a minute, but
That's what you did, I think.
did I?
Yeah.
I did. I did. You're right.
No, you played Bishop B3.
Bishop E3 first.
Oh, Bishop E3. No, but maybe I should leave this
CJ,
one.
you telling Nigel what moves he plays?
Maybe I should have kept my bishop on B3 slightly longer, because somehow it controls E8. I really want my bishop on the diagonal attacking F7. That was my main idea. But okay, I went.
No. You went Bishop B3.
Bishop B3. Excuse me. I went Bishop B3, and now B6.
Yeah. I'm
Bishop
not sure.
D7 is also it's not clear to me.
In fact, E takes F3 might be also an option.
E takes F3. Why is that good? Tell me.
Knight E4.
Okay, now I play Queen H5.
If I come back to F6 now.
Now you go back to F6. Okay, so you're offering a draw.
Let's say.
Just playing the best moves.
That was a comment earlier in the tournament, wasn't it?
Sorry?
That was a comment earlier in the tournament.
Yeah.
In fact, I was very optimistic about my position, so I thought I shouldn't play it.
Yeah. Too aggressive.
That's actually quite annoying.
Good stuff.
Okay, so if I go... I don't like that move at all. Let me play Queen E5.
So you turn down the draw?
Hmm?
You turn down the draw.
Well, I don't know, it's not a draw yet, but...
Yeah. No, unfortunately, I think Queen H4 is the best move, and it probably should be a draw.
Bishop D6, okay.
And then we'd have the arbiters saying this is a tacit agreement of a draw, you know, and then... then it's, yeah, Bishop D6.
Or maybe Rook E8 at once.
Yeah, maybe Rook E8 at once is better. Queen E3. I'm not, you see, I'm looking at that D pawn, and I see weakness.
Okay.
That D pawn is very vulnerable, and you've played Rook E8. Now look at. I right click here, don't I? How do I get the red thing there? I can't remember. I've done this. I've done a bloody DVD, 2 of them for chess base, and that's and I've forgotten how to do all. I knew I had to put all these arrows in and everything, but I forget it.
I was telling everyone how I've just bought 100 copies of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Nigel Short's greatest hits. Yeah. It's
But you also said Ginger GM ones are clearly better.
Yeah. So there is a problem actually, seriously, with the development. My moves are very clumsy. You know, Queen E5 and Queen E3 is an ugly way to play.
Yeah,
but
of course, if you finish development.
if I finish my developments, I'm in good shape. And I'm going to put the Queen on D3, and now I'll give checkmate on H7. If I don't give checkmate on F7, it will be on H7.
Choices.
Yeah. So actually, it looks very strange. The Queen is badly placed. But how